This past Father's Day was pretty pleasant for me. I still didn't hear from my youngest son, but all at the same time, I don't worry about that anymore. You know, you get to the point to where you have to give a personal assessment of what's most important in your living experience, and what's most important in my living experience is my writing and getting my work out. That's pretty much all I care about right now. You know, these little holidays are created, you know, by this government system for one particular reason, and that's to help the merchants pocket more money. I don't have to go through all of that old so-called woke stuff. But one of the reasons why I'm making this short video is because I know a lot of brothers out here who are good fathers, even if they're not with their kid's mother on a permanent basis. They still try their hardest to have a relationship with their children. However, what a lot of these women do leading up to Father's Day, and I think that I had explained this to in last year of another Father's Day video, of what they do in leading up to Father's Day. They turn up the volume on bad mouthing the children's father, so that when Father's Day do come up, then these men don't hear from their children. If it's one thing that most women would never admit, but I'm gonna say it right here: when you have children by a woman, those kids become your first love. Now, this is not to say that men stop caring about the mother, but there is no way in the world. I'll put it like this. I think I'm moving too fast because I'm in the middle of something. I just got back from the gym not too long ago. I told a brother one night at work, a man really doesn't know what love is until he has children. And so, by women knowing that, and when you have these relationships with them or these marriages with them, and when you walk away from the woman or she walks away from you, whatever the case may be, the way that women hurt men is through their children. See, there's always a psychological warfare going on with the mind of the children. Primarily, the women are the one that do that, because we men always try to be what is called the bigger person. And the majority of the times when we try to take that route on being the bigger person, the women step in with their lies and manipulations, and they manipulate the child's mind to the degree that us being the bigger person begins to start making you feel very small. You get to the point to where your only protection for your peace of mind, you have to not even worry about your children being mentally abused, because that's pretty much all it is. They're just being mentally abused by these women who are mentally abusing them by way of turning them against their own father, which should be illegal. It should be a crime. And if I had my way, I would have you all eliminated. I'm telling you straight up. Because let me tell you something. For the young men who I was talking to yesterday, if you don't have any children, and if you want to have children with these women today, particularly Black women, which I wouldn't suggest, or any woman, did that make you feel better, Black women? What you young men are going to have to realize what you're getting into. When you have children, it's one thing you're going to have to accept. When you have children, you are going to forever have to deal with two things: love and fear. When you have a child, you will not be able to find a more powerful love than a love for your child, whether it's male or female. And what comes along with that immense love is an immense fear. Because the fear is present there because you love them so much. And so with this strong love, as I said, becomes a great fear. And this is something that is never going to go away. You're going to have good times with your children. You're going to have very calm times with your children. But there's always going to be a great fear there because of the fact that you have a great love. Now, if it's one thing that women know, they know that men love their children. And this is the reason why this wicked species called women are going to always use your children against you, because you don't want to deal with them anymore because of a failed relationship. So the way that these women try their hardest to get back at you is through the children. And to me, there's no greater crime on this planet than to manipulate a child's mind to hate his father. And you definitely gonna pay for that. You're gonna pay for that, because you're gonna find yourself being with a whole lot of different men, because half the time that's what y'all do anyway. You're gonna find yourself being with a whole lot of men, but as far as having peace of mind and getting married and all of that, that's not gonna happen because of what you've done to your child in regards to turning that child against their father. It's never gonna happen. When my first born was born, my oldest son, he was born, I was in a nursery, and my oldest son was born in Richmond, California, because me and his mother was going through some things out there. Now, my mother is a photographer. Now, she told me, when you first went to the nursery to see Deshaun, that's my oldest son's name, she said, after you were already in the nursery, she said that I was standing outside the nursery with my camera. She had a video camera at the time. And she said, when that nurse put Deshaun in your arms, she said, and you stood up, and the way that you were pacing, looking down at his face, and the way that Deshaun was looking up at you smiling, because me and my oldest son have a very deep connection, very deep connection. She said, I was getting ready to put the videotape on to film that. She said, but God told her, no, don't videotape this. She said, because she knew that moment only belonged to you and him. Now, my mother meant that, honestly. But at the same time, that's equivalent to what the common woman knows. Now, when the common woman knows that you have that type of connection with your child, instead of her saying that's a beautiful thing, a lot of these women will say, that's something that I can use against him if he ever do something that I don't like. And so every time you turn around, I'm bumping into brothers at work, brothers on the bus on Father's Day who are angry. Some of them are crying. And for some reason, there's something wrong with a man crying. This society is absolutely sick, because anybody who will say that a man is not supposed to cry is saying that that man is not a human being. If you're a human being, you're going to shed tears. And when it comes to your children, and when you have a great love for your children, and you've done all that you can to keep that type of relationship going with your children, a whole lot of times these women who you have let go in regards of a relationship, the only way that they can hurt you due to the fact that they can't hurt you any other way because you don't care no more and you have moved on with your life. The only way that they know that they can attack you is through your children. Now, look, I'm bringing this up to the brothers to let you know, if your child can be turned against you, let them go. Let them go. I don't care how much you love them. Let them go because of how much you love them. Because if you hold on to it after they've been contaminated by the words and the mind manipulation of their mother, you're going to be holding on to something that hurts. You know, that's just like that song that Snoop Dogg made when he said, drop it like it's hot. He's telling you to be intelligent. Drop it. Because if it's hurting you due to the fact that you don't want to hurt, drop it and wait for a better time. Because the Creator is going to deal with that woman or these women. The Creator is already dealing with them. They're already dealing with them. So get you some meditation in, brothers. And you ask the divine to help you tap into the strength that is already present inside of you. Yes, some of us made some mistakes. And after you resolve your differences with the mother of your children, and she goes through all of these different men, just like my son's mother did. She done been through so many people. Because I told her, you will never find anybody like me. Now, look, let me tell you, brothers, when you know you a good man, you say you a good man. When you know that you are the best man that she's ever had, open up your mouth and say, I was the best thing that ever happened to you. And don't let these people talk about ego and all of that stuff. When you know that you a good man, can't nobody tell you that you're not. And if people are able to convince you that you are not the good man that you say you are, then maybe you're not. Maybe you're not. But when you know you a good man, can't nobody tell me otherwise. I know I'm a good man. Any woman that comes into my life, or any woman that I allow come into my life, oh, you're gonna be loved and you're gonna be respected. I am tired of seeing men on Father's Day get turned inside out to the degree they can barely work. They're in the general public and they're hurting and they're upset. And then when even a woman comes up and kindly tell him, Happy Father's Day. Now, she means that from her heart. When she says Happy Father's Day, but simply because his children are being manipulated and pretty much intellectually destroyed, even though it's a kind gesture and he says thank you, there's a pain within because what's going on with him in his personal life. Happy Father's Day now hurts. And this is the damage that a whole lot of you wicked women do. But when that time comes and everything starts sagging and you hit the wall and you look at yourself and you ain't that fine sister that you used to be, that's when your day is coming. That's when your day begins. And when you try to get married, to try to spite other people, you put your little so-called engagement ring on that you first said that your youngest son picked out. Okay? See, you can say that kind of stuff to people who are stupid. Oh, my youngest son picked out my engagement ring. Your youngest son did this? He picked out your engagement ring. Are you listening to yourself? I'm talking about my son's mother. And I'm bringing this up to let you brothers know, let go of a whole lot of stuff that's going on. All that talk that these women be talking, pay attention to it. Ain't nothing but a bunch of bullshit. Shouldn't your fiance be the one picking out your engagement ring instead of your son? What sense does that make? You're gonna marry your son? You're gonna live with your son? Because this is the type of language that I'm hearing. And if every time that you go to California or out of town to visit your so-called fiance, why is it that every time you go out of town, you have to get a motel room? How come you can't stay with your fiance? Because he's not your fiance. He's most likely got a woman, and he's most likely married, and you ain't nothing but what you've always been, a side chick. That's all you are. Brothers, I'm telling y'all. Take it from somebody who knows. Let it go. Let it go. Now, I'm not saying that the government is wrong for creating Father's Day, but I'm telling you, some people will use a good thing that is produced for you and turn it into a bad thing simply because of the love that you have inside for your children. Give it time. And you sit back and you keep your self-respect and your dignity, and you just sit back and you let the Creator deal with them. You let the Creator deal with these women, because these women, their day is coming. Their day is coming. Because look at them right now. They miserable. They miserable. Every time you turn around, they on social media talking all this old crazy stuff. To me, any species that will celebrate the death of a man, I'm talking about Brother Kevin Samuels. They celebrated the death of that man. And he was the only one left that was trying to help them. That's one of the reasons why they kept calling in. But the whole thing is, that's what you're dealing with today. Hold your head up, brother. Keep your spirits up. Sooner or later, your children are going to wake up, and they're going to one day realize who the real problem is. And it's going to always be the one that was primarily all the time around them, consistently, all their lives, feeding lies into them, emotionally and psychologically abusing them, altering a distinctive and natural relationship and feeling that they supposed to have for their father. But any demonic presence that will alter that simply because they are angry because you don't want them no more, that's a sick human being, and that's a demonic person. Keep your heads up, brothers, because my Father's Day went fine. Okay? I'm not saying this because my Father's Day wasn't good. I had a very good Father's Day. You know, I heard from my oldest son, hey, all I got to do is hear from one of them. Keep your head up. Because soon you're going to get the justice that you need for you to start getting the respect and honor that you deserve. And just sit back and watch her life crumble. Because the only person that's producing that against her life is herself. Because if it's one thing that you do not do, it's tamper with the innocence of a child. So you keep your head up, brothers, and dry your tears. Dry your tears. And I'm gonna tell you, it ain't nothing wrong with a man shedding tears because he loves his children so much. They know how much we love our children. And they know that we have a big fear of losing them, not only physically, but losing their honor and losing their respect. These women are wicked. And you have to understand that wickedness don't give a damn what it do or who it hurts. They will hurt their own children in order to get back at you. And that's nobody's mother. That's nobody's mother. Keep your heads up, brothers. I'm telling you, keep your heads up, keep your dignity, keep your self-respect, because they're trying to push you over the edge. But you be the strong brothers that you are and have always been. And like I always say, you brothers stay human. Keep your heads up, brothers. Dry your tears. Peace. I'm in your corners. Peace.